when you fall out of those status, that meaning that your admission into the United States, 6 months had passed, you've stayed here for many years and things like that, and you're over 21 years of age, then your dad, can fight for you. You can get what they call the I-130, the relationship, but you will not be able to get your green card here because you're over the age. And usually it takes even a long time for the visa to become available. Because you have to check what they call the visa bulletin. That's why they post all the dates that are available for certain, visa categories. So that's what it is. So marriages, yeah, if you marry an American citizen, you can get your green card. If you marry to a green card holder and also you still in status, you can get your green card. So that's another way that you can get your green card. But you have to prove a lot of things, documentation and other things. So that's what you will need to do. Make sure.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Make sure you don't open a bank account just to open it and leave it. Make sure that it's money transaction that you actually use that account. That I know sometimes people come in, they don't have their social security numbers yet, they don't have driver's license. It's difficult for them to get documentation. But you can try at the minimum. Some banks, they will still open an account for you. It doesn't matter, even with your passport. You can do that. And if you have a lot of documentation and things, it started, a couple years ago. They can go ahead and approve your green card without an interview. So it just depends, how your application was done and submitted. So that's one way, again, that you can get your green card through marriages. Should I still continue?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to ask some questions? We have a couple questions. Do you want me to ask?
Yeah,
Or
you
you
can.
you okay? If that's a good
But I mean, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So this first question, I'm not sure what Brenda meant, but I'm gonna read it regardless. This is coming from Zoom. So Brenda Akafo said, "Please try something for F1 visa folks too. Thank you." I'm not sure if she was
You
asking
said
if
the
you can.
F1 visa.
Yes. And what is the F1 visa in the first place?
Well, the F1 visa is usually, for students. That's a student visa. I just don't understand the question specifically what she
Yeah.
needs for or
So
what she want to hear.
Brenda, I would say just come again with your question so that we can ask a lawyer the proper question. Vanessa Perez said, and again, we're still on Zoom. I applied for I-130, which is the alien relative, for my husband last year. I'm a U.S. national. I received a message stating the application will be processed in 4 months. My question is, once we have been approved, what will my husband need to do to obtain entry to the USA? He's currently residing in Ghana and has never been to the States. Is that something that they
Right.
have to
So,
come see you?
yeah, I mean, the best thing is to see, a lawyer. You can see us, we do represent clients all over the United States or all over the world. It doesn't really matter which location where you are. You can come see us, we can direct you, but the next process will be a consular processing. You have to pay the visa fees and do certain paperwork, put it together. And when everything is done, they will set up your husband, for an interview in Ghana. But okay, they will set up the husband for an interview in Ghana. Um, and sometimes Ghana they have a backlog. Sometimes we may have to look for another embassy that is open that can be able to take that person to give so they can have an interview earlier than waiting in Ghana. So, but you have to see a lawyer, or you can see us.
Okay.
Okay. And I saw Brenda's question. If you don't mind, I can go ahead and answer that.
Okay, go ahead and finish, Brenda. Then we're going to come back to Vivian.
Okay, no, please. Okay, you sure?
Yeah, yeah, go to Brenda's. Because Brenda was number
Okay.
one, but it wasn't clear.
Okay. So you can change, F1 status, um, in different ways. One, if you're married to an American citizen, you can change your status. If you're not married, you can also change your status. Some people, their country condition change, and they can file for asylum. Like for instance, Ghana, they passed, the anti-gay law. So, if you fall in that category, you're gay, or say lesbian. So what had happened is that's a change in country condition. You can file for asylum. Like I said earlier on, I don't know if you heard me, Miss Brenda. I did say also, like when you do the F1, you come here as F1, you finish school, you can always also look for employment after your OPT or during your OPT. And if a job hires you, they should be able to file for an H-1B. And also, it's a lottery process. If you're picked and they process you, my office does that actually. Miss Rowland and I said Malcolm, but Mr. Gaffer also is an expert on that. You can go through that process to get your green card also, and if you're married or have any children, they should be able to also benefit from that process. So there are different ways. It also depends. If you're an investor, if you have money also you want to invest, or you're in school, even with F1,